So let's talk Intrepid. So what I like about Intrepid as much as anything, Mike, is how it is really a culmination of the stuff you and I have been through in life with the ups and the downs, and there's been fair share of both, I think, for the pair of us. Let's be honest. What I've always liked about this product and the way that we help people here is how it is actually quite a reflection of the things that we thought we might have been able to use or probably used if that something like this was available, or maybe it was, we just didn't know about it, right? I mean, who knows? But I think what I like is how we've come to create this service for people, this offering others.
Yeah. I think from my perspective, just going back a step, that was the whole ethos around coming up with Life in Business initially. I think given the sort of 25, 30 plus years, various experiences we've got, and as we regularly point out, we've got some really bad business bruises along the way. And I think from my perspective, one of the things from Life in Business and the core products around the coaching and the mentoring and serving those people was, and as you quietly talked about previously, you've done it yourself. When I've been in business, you jump in, you take the reins and you just crack on. You don't know if you're doing things right, you don't know if you're doing things wrong, you don't know if it's for the greater good of your customers, you don't know if it's the greater good of staff. You just jump on the horse and off you go. And I think looking back, from my own personal experiences, is if I'd have had, I guess it sounds a bit of an excuse really, but it's not. I think if I'd, as a business owner, had the time and inclination to think, maybe I should just stop, just take stock, have a look, what's going on in the business, why is that not working, why is that flourishing, and capture all them sort of metrics. But I think, again, looking back, not having that sort of one-to-one experienced element to help guide, just be by my side, just to guide me through all that stuff, I think I would have generated a lot more success, probably generated as many failures, but that would have informed those lessons into the successes as well. So I think with the core coaching products we've got, certainly Intrepid, I think the key things for us really was to keep it affordable. I think is key, especially currently. And I think price point, we're there with that. I think with the way we've structured, based on our own experiences, it's a real sort of fast momentum packed 2-hour sessions.
Pretty intense, isn't it? Yeah.
But I think you need that. It's like, if you pick up a book and start reading a book, chances are you can keep reading and keep reading and keep reading and keep reading. There's not many times I'll pick up a book and start it and put it down. A few weeks later, I was reading a book, I better go back to that. We want to avoid that. So I think we structured the blueprint of the course really well.
It's got an intensity to it that I like. That I think for people who are busy, maybe single person businesses, or maybe just small teams at very least, who maybe don't want to put a 6-month commitment into something, which I understand, right? I mean, it's hard, we just give that time up, but a 1 month 2 hours once a week seems plenty for what we want to help them with, and just intense enough that they can cope with it for a month, and then they know that there's that respite at the end and all the follow-up work that we do there. But I think that intensity is the bit that actually makes a bit of a difference.
Well, I think it needs to be that as well, because again, going back to you as a previous business owner, me as a previous, you want to realize the changes quickly, right? So it's the only way to do it. Just jump in, rattle through the sessions, come out the other end, completely different outlook, look back at what you've taken from those lessons, implement them, and then if our clients need that additional accountability moving forward and that additional support, we're not just going to sort of close the door after the fourth or fifth session or whatever the course. I think it's important to maintain that momentum coming out the other side of the Intrepid.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've quite enjoyed writing it, actually, some of it, where we've still kept true to our probably are quite spiky points of view, aren't they? I think most people certainly would recognise me and maybe some of my spiky points of view, that I'm not the biggest fan of goals. Not saying they're wrong, fill your boots, but there's never in particular work for me. Whereas this is very much in line with, compass setting, with, lining up your values against your business a lot more. And I think that's where I feel really good about what we've created, because it holds true. It holds true to who we are as humans, whether some people agree with it or disagree, either way's fine, whatever. But I like the fact that we've really kept it us. It comes from our souls, if you like. And I think that's been really important. I've enjoyed writing that part of it and making sure that all the the 3 principles, as I work on a lot, and you do too, that we keep that weaved. It
underpins it all.
It does. It's the anchor. It's everything. It holds everything up. And I do think sometimes I know you and I've talked about it, but a lot of people you can get bogged down, can't you, in various social medias, hearing the same thing over and over. Set goals, get up at 5 a.m, hustle, all that type of stuff. We hear it enough that sometimes that we don't really necessarily realise that other things can be true. As if that's the only way to success. And I think that's good. I like what we've created that shows people there's another way to success. There's another way to go about your life in business that doesn't necessarily mean being up 20 hours of a day and grinding and hustling. And
well, that's it. There's nothing, and this is since going whenever it was 18 months back, 2 years back, when we got Life in Business off the ground, is since I've because as you know, I'm very driven that way myself.
I know.
Early start, I've worked till
you are.
Everybody goes to bed and all that nonsense. Since I've started to implement 3 principles around everything I do in business, in our businesses, and everything I do outside of the business, I very quickly realised that there is nothing I can't do by starting at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. As opposed to starting at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Totally.
Right? I'm a lot more refreshed. I'm a lot more focused. I'm a lot more disciplined. And from an efficiency perspective, I get more done. I genuinely do.
And no one's going to come racing to give you a medal at 5 a.m. saying, well done, Mike, are they? Exactly. There's no medals for any of this stuff.
It's all vanity and stuff. I understand there are businesses out there that require a round-the-clock model. I get that. Totally get that. But, our target audience with Intrepid are from a business background where we were, and it can be dark, it can be lonely, it can be right. And if you have a support mechanism and that network around you, and this comes back to the price point of everything that we do. We've got high ticket things, but even our high ticket things are not
ridiculous. I mean, compared to a lot of coaches that we both know, they're really still great value for the work.
Well, as you know, I got pitched 4 or 5 months ago for £35,000 coaching course. And I managed to obtain the framework of that. And I know frameworks are implemented differently, and it's the achievements you're looking to realize, the benefits you're looking to realize might be different, and your goals and objectives might be different. I get all that. But the key for us is, small businesses in an economic climate that we're currently in, still need that guidance, still need that support, still need that unwavering confidence.
Totally.
With all that around you, you will get through this. So we need to keep that affordable. It's about we need to. We do it anyway. We all the products we develop, we structure them around helping that person, that individual.
Real help.
Right, true help from true experiences. And experiences that we know work in these lessons, right? So why would we want to rip them off? we just wouldn't.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Not,
And I think
it's not a landscape or environment we want to be part of. We need to keep it affordable. I think the price point is definitely affordable. I don't.
Yeah,
it's you know, and
I mean,
we've got.
so what I'm thinking is we've talked about this a lot, and we know there's so much out there now. There's so much noise, and it is hard, isn't it? I mean, it's hard for us to sift through.
Yeah.
What's good, what's bad, what's indifferent. What do I take notes of? Who do I take notes of? And it's hard. And I think for me, where I've ended up is I end up just on a gut feeling. I have to rely on my intuition, which is part of the three principles work, but I rely on my intuition at some point to go over, believe this other person and believe that they genuinely want to try and help and add value, or I don't. And if I do, great. I'm likely to sort of follow them and start, consuming their content and, maybe pay them for something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are a lot smarter now in a very noisy environment, and also made a lot more cautiousness around everything, which is right. I think it's kind of seems fair to me. Like, of course you'd be cautious. There's a lot of this.
We are. We are. Look at the approaches we get all the time.
Yeah, totally. And we can't expect people that we want to work with to be any different to how we go off and act out there. So yeah, it's a bit of a odd one.
I was chatting to a renowned motivational speaker the other day, right? Based around a couple of our events that we're planning.
Yeah.
Said something to me that was really, really interesting. And I'm kind of an advocate of saying no more than yes. But he said to me, I pitched something to him, and he said, and he looked square down the camera, and he said, my default answer these days to everything is no. Where do you take a conversation after that?
Yeah, where'd you go?
But that conversation continued, right?
Yeah.
Because the boundary was set, bang. However, I've got this service, and we talked, and we, and I gleaned some golden nuggets from this chat. I mean, I really did.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
You probably know exactly who you are. So
yeah. Cheers.
But it just goes to show that you need to build that relationship and that trust. And I just think price is key for everyone. Money going out of the business and new money coming in the business are two, it sounds crazy, right? And I think this is people shy away from, don't be uncomfortable about the whole financial element of what you're trying to do, right? Without your money, your business is screwed.
Yeah.
Right? So talk about it.
Yeah.
Cash flow is really bad, right?
Yeah.
How do I get through it? And it's so all these types of conversations really have helped when we build on the foundations of the three principles, all our products. I really,
absolutely.
I think there's a lot of benefit for everyone out there. I really do.
And it brings a different feeling to the work, doesn't it? Because it is, as much as Intrepid is very practical, like client creation, and sort of marketing, branding, and there's very practical elements. Sort of underpinning all of that is these principles and
essential.
And they're the bits that create the clarity, the sort of understanding your inner creativity, and actually how powerful each human being is. We will have superpowers if we'll only go looking for them. It increases our resilience, our well-being, and I love how we've kind of sandwiched it all together. There's the practical strategies, methods, steps, and then there's the lessons around life doesn't need to feel so hard. Like, business doesn't need to feel so difficult as it often does for most of us. There's other ways to look at life that can open up the doors to much nicer, gentler.
It's the approach to your business.
Absolutely.
And
that's the bit. I love the way that we can bring those together. And it sounds like we're blowing our own trumpet, and we kind of are. Like, I love that together. I think it's brilliant how we've brought this, what some might call spiritual, and I don't mean like religion spiritual, I just mean anything before a practical hand action task. We've brought that together, all this in line with the practical, going off and doing your tasks, and these are the things you should be considering for your marketing and campaigns or whatever. Putting the two together has been brilliant. And I think that's where the power is in Intrepid, and excited to see the results that people can get from just 1 month from where they are now to where they could be in sort of 30 odd days
massive
is
benefits, Dave. Yeah, massive.
right, just staggering, the change that could happen. Yeah.
It comes back to, I mean, as you know, my strap line, which I underpins everything I do: inspire, motivate, lead, achieve.
Yeah.
But I'm also a huge advocate, and this took me a lot of years to figure it out. And over the last 20 years, I've started to do it. Is every single one of us, right, are responsible for our own being, right?
Yeah.
Personally and in business. And we all absolutely owe it to ourselves, and it's in a lot of the narrative we've got out there. But we all owe it to ourselves to invest in ourselves, because nobody else will.
Absolutely right. Yeah,
they
absolutely
won't.
right.
Okay.
No.
And you build your own luck. So the more you invest in yourself, you educate yourself, and implement what you're investing in.
Yeah.
How can you not realize those benefits?
Absolutely, and exactly to that point, when you start looking in a place that's different to where you've already looked in life, you will see something new, right? Yep. So to your point, exactly, if you invest a tenner and buy yourself a book on something you've never read about before or learned about, you're bound to see something new out of that. And I think that's the same with whether you take a short course, a long course, do coaching, mentor, anything. Yep. If you go somewhere that you've not been before, you're bound to see something different. And that I find that personally really exciting. Yeah. So I know you do tons of courses and constantly reading. I know, because you send them to me in the middle of the bloody night. So I know that's true. But I read and read and read. Like I almost can't consume enough. Yeah. And every time I read something, I realise how little I know. Do you know what I mean? It's like
exactly what I mean. But I think the flip side to that is the danger of that is we can get too immersed in research and education and not implement and take action.
True.
Right. And we see people doing it. We see people
absolutely all
the time. And it's like you and I these last 12 months have been a classic example for you and I, certainly from probably December, January onwards this year, where it happens to the best of us, right? We know people that are out there soaring with their businesses, but we're all human. We all still suffer and feel and experience the same things, irrespective of where you are in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right? The feelings are the same. Yeah.
And one of the things I've noticed, certainly with you and I, is when we get to the point where we think, right, we've done enough reading, we've done enough writing, we've done enough creative, we need to start getting this out. We need to start taking some action on this. And when we've got to that point, there's a big shift in what we do and how we are. That confidence of everything we've put into developing and planning all this stuff. Yeah. We start to realize that. And it makes it easier.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic how actually business can feel very complex when there is so much coming at us all the time, but it can feel, it certainly has for me in my lifetime, it's felt complicated sometimes to a point where I almost can't manage all the variables. It feels uncontrollable. But when you get past that complexity and really understand the simplicity, and you can see through all the bollocks, basically, all the silly nonsense that's go around us all the time, and you go past complexity to simplicity, which is often the case, that's, I think that's the magic. That's the best bit of it. That we found a way to just move through the quagmire that is the complexity of business into just a place that feels a lot simpler, feels a lot more clear.
I think that the key is for everyone as well to get to that point, right? Because you're gonna hit obstacles, fear's gonna kick in. You're going to look for every single excuse in the book not to progress through that painful period.
Yeah, because it's
tough. The key to all that is just move forward. Even if it's this much every time you make a decision, if you move forward that much, forget about 6 months, 12 months down the line.
Yeah, exactly. You've no idea what's coming.
You don't know what the hell's going to happen down there.
Yeah, mate.
You're here now, right? And just chop it down. Just keep. Yeah, and we do it. Look at the tough times we've had. Right.
Yeah, we've had it's been struggle, hasn't it? We've really had to knuckle down and fight on.
Well, that's business. There isn't a business out there or a business owner or an entrepreneur or a single business owner that hasn't experienced that.
Exactly.
And will continue to, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think you and I are a classic example. We're fortunate where, you know, there's two of us in this business. So, you know, we've always got each other to push.
Yeah.
But, you know, if one of us thinks, I need to take a look. No, come on. We
have accountability as well, isn't there?
Exactly. Yeah.
We
Exactly.
push and pull each other up. And I think that point on, you know, all any of us actually have is right now. Like, we spend, you know, when we say life and business, I mean everything. That we spend so much time worrying about the future, or we spend so much time regretting the past, that we forget that they kind of don't exist. They're not.
I don't even put there anymore.
They're not there. They're not there. They're not a thing. They're only memories that you've dragged from the past and thinking today, which makes you feel a certain way, or you're just projecting some thinking into the future that makes you feel a certain way. And the sadness of it always, normally, it makes us feel crap. Yeah. Right? When we think of the future, we normally think of all the horrid stuff that could come, all the fear-based stuff. And when we think of the past, we think of all the pain, all the things that have gone wrong, all the struggles we've had in the past.
You end up carrying that forward. You know,
you do
forward, and it's
and it's here all the time. It's like a ticker tape of your mind, isn't it? It's like playing a sad movie constantly. Yeah. And I think what's helped me really low since I lost the big business, you know, a number of years ago now, but what's helped me no end as I learn more and more is really truly understanding and seeing that actually all anyone's got is this very moment now. And that's it. There is nothing else. So it just seems better to me to try and be happy, content, fulfilled as much as I can in this moment where I am talking to you right now. That's cool. And that's all I need to worry about. It's just now. Nothing in the future, nothing in the past. It takes time, I think. I didn't get to that immediately, Mike. That took me it's been a right
But you need to go through the experiences. That's the whole point of putting these into these packages, right?
Exactly. Which all that stuff is there in Intrepid and, you know, Resolute and the other packages to help people to start seeing that nothing necessarily needs to change outside of them for them to have a better experience of their life in business. And I think when people see that, it's incredible change. Yeah. Incredible change.
Well, we see it, don't we? There's that inertia point when we're sitting with clients. Right? Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's almost like it's all cliche, but all of a sudden they get this glow around them.
You can see it.
Like something's happened, you know. And
you can see it. Yeah.
And then the stage two of that good bit is they go away and they action all this stuff. Yeah. You get the amazing feedback about the real dramatic changes in their not themselves but in the business and how they do things, you know.
Absolutely.
And people around them. It's it's
awesome, isn't it? I think Intrepid's a great program. I'm really excited to work with people on it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. We're
good.
Looking forward to getting it out there. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. On that note,
onwards and upwards, my friend.
Speak to you soon.
See you later.
Dave. Bye.
Bye.